How's it going? Welcome back to another great video with the majestic host, the Savior. And today I just want to gush and discuss Fallout, okay? Now, it's no secret that I'm a massive Fallout fan. If you're not new to the channel, then you'll know this. I've made so much Fallout content. I absolutely love it. Yes, I'm loving it. But today I want to talk more about Fallout London. So welcome back to another great video, my wonderful wise ones. And if you're not a wise one yet, what the bloody hell are you doing, okay? You need to subscribe right now. It only takes you 2 seconds of your time. Go down below and hit the subscribe button. But to be honest, I don't think many people are going to see this video. It's not a hot topic. It's not a trending Mr. Beast 101 controversy, okay? I just want to talk about Fallout London versus Fallout 4 because it's an interesting topic that's been rattling off in my insane, crazy man brain because I absolutely love Fallout. I love the Fallout series. A lot of people have been talking about this. People who have been playing Fallout London. And I thought it was kind of insane. I thought it was just, kind of the new hype phenomenon, okay? People just got excited because this is a fresh, new Fallout experience. And technically, it's not a DLC, it's actually a new Fallout game. People are just getting carried away when they're saying, this is better than Fallout 3, this is better than Fallout 4, better than Fallout 76, basically better than official Fallout games. And that's what I want to talk about today. Is Fallout London better than Fallout 4? Lots of people are saying Fallout London is better than Fallout 4, and honestly, after more and more time, going into Fallout London, I've got to say, when you look past the bugs, I know that's a big issue because it is a new mod. Obviously, it's going to have issues, but Bethesda games themselves are always full of issues. Of course, it's going to have its bugs, and a lot of people have complained about that. But remember, this is built on the creation engine, and all Bethesda games have bugs, and especially since this is a free fan-made project. But it really got me thinking, okay, because Fallout London took 5 years to make, and yes, they have all of the assets, most of them, ready because of Fallout 4. But the point is, and what I've seen many other people discussing online who are playing Fallout London, is this feels like a true Fallout experience. It feels not like a DLC, not like a mod. This feels like a new Fallout game. And I think people are just so surprised and taken back by this. The fact that it is so big, the fact that there are so many new assets to this game. Obviously, it is still using the Fallout 4 base engine, but there are a lot of new things in this game that only Fallout London has, and it's taking a lot of inspiration from older Fallout games, bringing back the formula that we love in the older games, what made them good to begin with. Proper dialogue choices, although obviously not as good as New Vegas, and the writing and all that stuff obviously not as good, but it is still being included. Better animations, good world design, and the Fallout feel that the series has been kind of missing for a while. Fallout means a lot to different people, and I feel like the fan base has just been divided for so long now, because we got the old school Fallout fans 1 and 2, then we have the Bethesda fanboys who only like Bethesda games like Fallout 4, Fallout 3 and 76, then we have the die-hard New Vegas fans, which I am a part of, but I also love Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 to a degree, but not so much Fallout 76, and most people agree that was pretty bad to begin with. Now it's not that bad, but my point is this game series has been so divided over a long period of time, and as games take longer and longer to be made now, especially by these big studios, I feel like Fallout has a bit of an identity crisis. Obviously, everyone now has kind of become unified thanks to the show, and I feel like this mod is going to do wonders for the community. And that's what sparked this discussion, is Fallout London better than official Fallout games? Is Fallout London better than Fallout 4? Where does it stack up in the Fallout series? Bear in mind that this is a mod, but when you think about it, developers are, at the end of the day, just normal people. Yes, they're qualified, but everyone starts from somewhere, and I do feel that the team of Fallout London are a professional studio. and that's why they're being hired by Bethesda, some of them. So it doesn't really, surprise me that this game is good, but I think it did shock a lot of people as to how good it would be, and myself included on that front. I just thought it would be a kind of DLC overhaul. But what this turned out to be is basically Fallout 5. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying it's just so much better compared to Bethesda Fallout. And I have to agree to a point. Obviously, you're not going to get the same things in a Bethesda game, like the open world exploration. That's something that's lacking in Fallout London, exploring these different buildings. They're kind of walled off. It feels more of a linear Fallout experience, but it's not surprising considering the restraints, because it's a mod, and the writing team and all that kind of stuff. It's not a professional quality, but the world design is up there next to Bethesda. I feel like their level design has much better verticality. The world feels just as lived in, if not a little bit more, compared to Fallout 4. And the factions and narrative, to me, although not as well crafted as something like a Bethesda game, they're more interesting to me compared to anything that was in Fallout 4.
Yes! I got word of a settlement that needs our help. We can use all the support we can get. I'll mark it on your map.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Obviously, I don't think it's fair to compare New Vegas to this, especially since that was made by Obsidian, and that is the, highest tier. But when you look back at Fallout 3, and there are callbacks to that game in Fallout London, which was shocking to me, and some, good side quests that have you emulating some of Fallout 3, but it's not just that, it goes above and beyond compared to what Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 did to a degree. The metro systems in Fallout London feel like a new addition to the game that reminds me of Fallout 3. And just like I said, the amount of detail and the fact that we actually have unique, interesting factions. The storyline in Fallout London seems to make much more logical sense compared to something like Fallout 4, where you're supposed to be rescuing your son, but instead you just go off and you build tons and tons of settlements for your overlord, Preston Garvey. It's just insane to me that how the quality of the pacing and how the factions are put together, on top of that, the world design is better than Fallout 4, and a lot of people are saying that. I personally believe it is. I wasn't a massive fan of Fallout 4, but when you consider that was the last proper single-player Fallout experience by the official team who create Fallout, which is now Bethesda, it's quite shocking that a mod team in 5 years, using, their toolset. Of course, we have to give props to Bethesda. Without that, none of it would be possible. But, basically all of their games are held up by mods to a degree. I'm not saying originally they're not great, like Skyrim and Fallout 3, but still, the fact that the fans understand now the identity of Fallout much better than Bethesda, and we have the toolset to make this type of experience. It's actually very exciting, because it means maybe because games take so long to make now, we don't have to rely on the main AAA studios like Bethesda to, support Fallout going forward. Maybe we can get smaller teams making making unique Fallout experiences, mini Fallout games, like we got with New Vegas, for example. And to me, it's just mind-blowing in the first place that the level of polish in Fallout London, if you don't, talk about the bugs, obviously that's an issue. I'm talking about the level of polish with the world design, the characters, the, interactions with them, like some of this has way more skill checks and way more trait interactions compared to something like Fallout 4. It's bringing back that RPG root, which is what Fallout has been missing for a long time. It also manages to carry the aesthetic of Fallout in a different setting very well, which makes it feel very unique. There are things I don't like about it, like the combat being too bullet spongy, some of the voice work, like I said, that's excusable, and the lack of some of the Fallout identity because it isn't in the Americana setting. But the fact is, they managed to capture the essence of the Fallout universe and bring it into a new setting. This still does feel like you're in the Fallout universe, and that's not just because it's based on the Fallout 4 engine. Everything is so densely packed. You know, there's a lot of care and attention to this that I just didn't expect, like a full radio sequence with lots of different stations, stuff like that. And it kind of puts Bethesda to shame, in all honesty. And I think that's the biggest surprise for me and a lot of people, because you think this is only possible because of a big, massive studio working, you know, day in, day out. But we've seen that's not the case. You know, mods have completely transformed Bethesda games, smaller and larger ones, and small little fixes that takes Bethesda months and months to implement, say in something like Starfield, takes the community like a matter of days. And I think this just kind of puts it all into perspective. Now, it is fair to say that, of course, the writing isn't of the same quality. It doesn't have the same depth and, you know, different factions with their strong ideologies, you know, compared to something like New Vegas. But when you look at something like Fallout 4, it didn't really have any philosophical themes either. It was very kind of narrow-minded, with the Brotherhood of Steel being this, you know, big, good kind of / bad faction, but, you know, still the best kind of future for the wasteland. And then, of course, the Enclave always being in the background, super mutants, and of course then the Institute. You know, it seems like Bethesda Fallout has kind of got stuck in this just set routine of recycling the same factions, the same ideologies and ideas, without giving the player much agency or giving the world design, the universe of Fallout, you know, room to breathe and expand with lots of different ideas and conflicts of ideas. That's what makes it interesting. And I'm not saying Fallout London does that either, but the factions still are more interesting here compared to something like Fallout 4. And to me, that's just pretty shocking, because it's a massive step in the right direction. Obviously, it still doesn't have the karma system that I want, but when you compare it to Fallout 4, you know, a proper AAA Bethesda game, the last Fallout true single-player game we got, this holds up just as well, and I would say it does many things better compared to Fallout 4. And if we keep heading in this direction, it's quite shocking in a good way and a bad way when you look at what's actually happened to Bethesda and Fallout. And I think Starfield is a good direction, and I think Starfield highlights that perfectly, because it's very safe. It's very one note. It's not saying it's a bad game, but it does play it very vanilla, and it just feels all very family friendly. This feels like Fallout has grit again. Some of the quests feel much more modernized as well, like random events actually happen. You know, you can get on a boat and it feels like you're playing something out of Metro. I think the only time Bethesda really did that was with Point Lookout for DLC in Fallout 3. This feels like it has much more of those additions, like in Point Lookout, like with Tenpenny Tower and stuff like that. Stuff I love about Fallout. Big choices to be made. And that does say a lot. That is the point of Fallout, is, you know, how you impact society and what is the best form of governance within a society when there is no stable governments anymore. And, you know, that draws parallels to how we view and govern our own world. We all live under a false illusion of democracy, but actually when it all breaks down, we just become interesting tribal groups, and then you can choose what ideology suits you the best. And I feel like it's capturing that essence again with unique quest lines as well. Now, obviously this is a mod, so they had to fill it out with tons of, you know, kind of shitty quests as well, stuff I'm not happy about, fetch quests. And the dialogue options don't always feel super long because they had limited writing, limited voice lines, but still, even with the limited capability of it being a modded team, they added choices. They added interesting factions and well-built level design, maybe not with such an attention to detail with storytelling in that level design as something like Bethesda do, but they've kind of lost that in recent years. So the reason I wanted to make this video was basically just to gush more about Fallout London, but basically look at Fallout in the grand scheme of things. You know, Fallout London is better than Fallout 4 in my opinion, and a lot of people are saying that as well, and I wanted to examine why people are actually saying that, what it means for Fallout going forward in the future, what it means for Bethesda, and I just think it's a crazy situation, and we should be thankful that this hopefully will be patched and, you know, more people will be able to play it in the future, but that, you know, we can rely on the community to create the experiences that are kind of being lost today because of, big corporations trying to play it safe or trying to focus on one particular demographic and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just feel like this is a good time to be a Fallout fan, and it's very interesting what's going to happen with Bethesda games moving forward, because without, the modding supporting them, I'm not sure they would still be alive, to be honest. And yeah, obviously this isn't possible without Fallout 4, but I do think it's an interesting discussion to have. Do check out my Fallout London review, because I have done a full Fallout London review from what I've played so far. But I just really wanted to compare, Fallout 4 versus Fallout London, which Fallout game is better, and how is it even possible that Fallout London is better than Fallout 4, which is pretty insane. That we can actually even consider that, and what does that say about Bethesda nowadays? I think, we really need to examine who takes charge of the Fallout franchise moving forward, and what mods can be in gaming in general in the future, because I've just been obsessed with mods for a long time, because I really do think they are transformative experiences. Modding a game is like getting a Lego set, but with that Lego set you can make whatever you want with it. That's what's exciting to me, and this is proof in the pudding that we can have full Fallout experiences. And the people who are saying this is Fallout 5, yes, that is a little bit of overhyping in my opinion. It does have a lot of things I don't like about it, but still, this is very exciting and the possibilities are there. So I just wanted to discuss that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider dropping a small donation, as I am trying to do this full time, and I don't know how experimental videos like this are going to perform, so please do support me. That's the only way I can actually keep doing this without literally going out on the street. So I'm relying on you guys for support. Thank you so much, and shout out to people who are supporting, who have dropped donations, like Daniel or Zeno the producer, and my members. And shout out to my members as well. Please do consider joining as a member or checking out my music on Spotify to support the show. Thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.